All right. Welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living's Wednesday night Oasis. My name is Reverend Sally Bartholomew, and I am your host this evening. I am also a member of the Board of Trustees at Oakland Center for Spiritual Living and a licensed minister with Centers for Spiritual Living. So you might be asking yourself, what is a Wednesday night Oasis? Well, it is a time between our Sundays where we can come together and get spiritually refreshed. It's a time for us to talk about the topics that are being shared on Sundays and revisit them, dive deeper into them. Our Wednesday night services are meant to be informal, intimate, and interactive. And I know we'll be doing some breakout rooms this evening, so I know this evening will be interactive as well. This year, in the Centers for Spiritual Living, we are exploring the annual theme of living out loud. This month of March, we're exploring the theme of cultivating authenticity. And of course, because it is March, we are also celebrating Women's History Month. So if you are new to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living and to our Wednesday night service, we're glad you're here. We also invite you to navigate yourself after service to www.oaklandcsl.org. That's our website. When you go there, look for the I'm New icon. You click on that and you'll be given an opportunity to provide your email address. Once you do, you'll start receiving the Village newsletter. It's a once-a-week newsletter that comes out on Thursdays, and it has all the information on what's going on at the center in the coming weeks. So some housekeeping notes before we get started with this Zoom service. Please be sure to turn off your video camera and to mute yourself during the service unless you're asked to turn those things back on so that you can be in the interactive portion. If you don't, our tech team in the background will mute you. So stay tuned till the end of service to receive special and important announcements. All right. As we do with every organized event at the center, we begin in prayer. And I'd like to invite our speaker this evening, Bonnie Gonzalez, practitioner at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, to start us off in prayer and go on into her talk. Welcome, Bonnie.
Well, thank you so much, Reverend Sally, and congratulations on being nominated or voted on to the board for Oakland Centers for Spiritual Living. So I'm just proud and happy to be here. And I do want to take a minute just to dedicate tonight's service to my nephew who made his transition on Monday. His name is Curtis Robinson. So this night is for Curtis. Sending you love, Curtis. Know you're smiling down on me, on us. So with that said, why don't we just, take a deep breath. I always laugh and say at this time of the evening, some people may be having dinner. So I say, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're chewing, and have another breath in and just relax into your body that has probably been busy doing things all day. Just relax into it and just send it love, just send it love. And as you're sending your body love, just become aware of the presence of the Holy Divine Spirit that is always present, that is always here, that is always available. Feel that energy just wrapped around you. Allow that energy to just hold you in this moment, to hold you in this moment, to make space within for this prayer, to make space to receive this prayer. Just another breath and just allowing these words to just wash over you. And it is with Mother, Father, God, great divine Holy Spirit is all there is. And this spirit is one of love, magnificent, powerful, energetic love. It has so many names. It's by God, Allah, Buddha, but tonight it is love. It is just pure, unadulterated love. And love is the most powerful thing that there is. It encompasses everything. It energizes everything. It brings life to everything. This love has the power to uplift, sustain, to make whole. This love is just beauty. This love is all that is rich, and this love is all that is magnificently divine and glorious. And I am made from this essence of love. And so it's each person on this call. Each person is the outpicturing, the outpouring of this divine, magnificent love. And I am just honored and feel so blessed to be arriving to this sacred arena, to this sacred circle, standing tall and proud on the shoulders of my ancestors who have been made manifest of God as love. And tonight we are gathered to remember the powerful and magnificent light that we each individually shine. It is like the sun. The sun is always shining, no matter if there's a cloud in the sky, if there's storms. That sun is always shining, and that is true for our internal light. Our internal light is always shining. It's always magnificent. Whatever mask is held up does not, that mask cannot hide that light. That light melts away whatever mask is held, because that is the power of you. We are divinely designed to have this power from God as love. And it's just with a joyous and a jubilant heart that I say, thank you for the knowing of the truth of our time together tonight. And I just release my word into law that always says yes, 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 and a super yes. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie, for that prayer. And really, as I said before I started praying, that I am so honored. I wish there was another word. I just feel privileged to be here tonight with you. It has been a journey. As most of you know, I live in Mexico. So I am an outreach practitioner. And you may ask, well, what is that? It's a person that you don't see very often unless they're on Zoom, because we're out here in the world sharing science of mind philosophy with the world, and I'm in Mexico. So on tonight, Reverend Sunshine started us off on Sunday. The theme tonight is dropping the mask and the bushels, and she was so kind to explain that dropping the mask, of course, is self-explanatory, and the bushel is hiding your light under a bushel. As I said in the prayer, trying to hide your light under a mask. And so the theme, as Reverend Sally said, authenticity is this month, but the year is living out loud. So we will talk about the mask for a little bit. We wear masks in celebration for fun and for protection. Masks that we wear for our hearts that may keep us safe until, bingo, they don't work anymore. Vulnerability is what empowers us to drop the mask and let our glorious, beautiful light shine. And the affirmation that we will be going with tonight is that I have the courage to be vulnerable and let my light shine. Isn't it, when you think about not living your authentic life or your authentic self and allowing vulnerability to move in, it's like thinking about it this way, that light is to be revealed, not concealed. Just to think, it's exhausting to be what you're not. I remember working with nurses and doctors that did not want to be nurses or did not want to be doctors. And my heart would always go out to them to think, wow, what must that feel like to get up every morning and go and do something that your heart isn't feeling. And so this talk tonight goes on to say, it takes a toll on us when we're working on being to others what we are not. We wear those masks to hide because on some level, we believe that our own thoughts and opinions or feelings are not acceptable. Dropping our mask is a way of restoring our self-worth and respect. So from there, I want to get started by saying that being here in Mexico, this is I've been here a year and a half. So I came in 2021. So 2021, I got to experience for the first time Dia de los Muertos. Oh my goodness. I thought it was, Day of the Dead. That's what I was expecting, a lot of somber and soberness. But it was the most joyous time that I've spent anywhere doing anything. I was in Ireland for St. Patrick's Day in 2021, and I thought they had, hands down for celebrating with joy. But Dia de los Muertos was just over the top. So this time around in 2022, I thought, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to be a part of this. I'll treat it like a cultural exchange, immersing myself in the Mexican culture. Because when I arrived here, I said, I really want a true Mexican experience. We live in an area that a lot of local people, a lot of Mexicans live here, so not a lot of English spoken here. So I'm forced to be not forced, let me reframe that. I'm enjoying getting the opportunity to perfect my Spanish by being in this culture. So this year, when Dia de los Muertos rolled around, I thought, I'm getting out there. I'm going to do it. I'm going to just enjoy it. So when, my sister even flew down. So it was the end of October into the 1st of November. It's a pretty long celebration. People put altars up and the altars stay up for weeks. There's public altars, there's private altars, there's altars. And if you're familiar with that flower, magnolias, they're beautiful, brightly orange, yellow. And they feel that helps draw the spirits back to this world. But anyway, that just shows you how colorful it is. Peter, if you can show some of the slides that we were in. This was in the Guadalajara, which of course is a big city, but we live in San Antonio, Tlayacapan, and it's a little bit not that it's celebrated any less, mind you. It's just more intimately festive. So this one was in Guadalajara, and you see the altar there with the orange flowers, the marigold flowers. That is just so common. That is just all over. So we went to Guadalajara, and I started seeing women with sugar skull makeup, but it's really called the La Catrina. We'll have Peter show us the next slide, the La Catrina. Yeah, La Catrina. And this was done by an artist, Jose Guadalupe Posado. And really, it's quite old. It's from 1910 is when this was done. And the whole essence, and I don't want to make this talk any longer, and the next time I'll do an entire talk on Dia de los Muertos because it is such a beautiful celebration. But this is referred to as La Catrina. And when the artist did this, it was kind of a political satire, you might say, saying that death is the great equalizer. Death is the great equalizer. And we're all equal. So therefore, rich, poor, anyone could wear the makeup, which is referred to La Catrina. And one thing I did learn was that you don't want to have your Katrina a scary, what is that? Freddy Krueger nightmarish kind of thing? Some of the horrible Halloween masks that we have in American culture. You wouldn't want anything like that because La Catrina is representing your ancestors. It's ancestral worship is what it's about. In the next slide, I started seeing people with La Catrinas, and I was quite shy initially. And I was like, oh, do you mind if I take a picture? And the first lady I asked, she like struck a pose like, oh, what do you mean, do I mind? You know, mentally, it's like, this is what this is all about, which I didn't know. So anytime I saw someone that had a Katrina that I loved, I would say, do you mind if I take a picture? So this family, I saw the mother first and I said, oh, do you mind if I have a picture, una foto, por favor? And she said, oh, espérate, espérate. And she calls the whole family over. And that's when I realized the entire family had La Catrina. They were so proud of themselves. So my sister and I decided that we should get a La Catrina. So here we are. And my sister and I was so happy. I was like a kid at Christmas that I finally got to have a Katrina. I was overjoyed. As you can see on this picture, I'm smiling. And my sister says, stop smiling. You're not supposed to smile. Your teeth will show. So anyway, but I was just truly enjoyed. It was the first time, I'm sure most of you know, I have a weekly broadcast that and it's on New Thought Media Network, and it's live streamed on Facebook and on YouTube. And the title of my program is Your Doula for Grief. So I'm talking about grief a lot, and grief is caused by loss, correct? And so here I am with my La Catrina. I just want that to stay up for a little bit. Peter, I'll let you know when you can take it down. I just want to express to you, when we talk about a mask, usually we talk about this mask hiding something, you know, taking something away and us pretending to be something that we're not. When I had on that mask, I felt that I was paying my ancestors homage in a deep way that I had never been able to pay tribute to their lives before. I felt the essence of my mother like moving through me. I felt the essence of my grandfather who just loved me like I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I could just remember feeling that. And for once, I really felt that I was standing tall and proud on the shoulders of my ancestors, that I was the hope and dream of enslaved people, that here I was. I mean, if you look at that picture, and I mean, when I look at it, I just see the joy in my eyes. I was just so joyous that day. It was as if something had come alive. It was as if something had been lying dormant and someone came along and, it was like one of those pieces of dehydrated papers, and you put water on it and it comes to life again. That's what I felt when I had that La Catrina on. It was like I came to life in a way that I had never come to life before. I was just overfilled with joy. And it's like just a passion for life got ignited in me, a passion for life. That makes me think of the Ernest Holmes quote. Ernest says, life is not just something to be endured. It is to be lived in joy, in fullness, without limit. To be lived in joy and fullness without limit. And I'm telling you, I was really alive that day. And remember when I said that I would ask people if I could take their picture, if they could take the picture, if they would take a picture with me. And I didn't ask anyone for like a selfie. I just took pictures of them. But then after my sister and I had our Katrinas done, people started asking us if they could take a picture of us. And there were quite a few said, can I have a selfie with you? Can I have a selfie with you? And it was suddenly the whole idea that I could bring joy to somebody's life by just having this makeup on, by just being in the picture with them. How simple is that? When we talk about world peace, is it that simple of just doing something really insignificant almost, but significant to them, but not having to do anything big, just to smile and say yes. And I just still revel in that moment. There was throughout the city, and it's a big city, throughout the city, there were so many people that there were so many people that were just in harmony, just in joy. I got that real sense of oneness, a sense of connection, that Dia de los Muertos was not just about death. Dia de los Muertos was about living. There is a Buddhist quote that says, you cannot enjoy living until you accept dying. And you talk about a state of grace around death. That's what I felt, that state of grace. I felt joyous and just absolutely wonderful. It was really, I was going to say, one of the top 5 days of my life. And I have 4 kids, so I have to count those in, 2 marriages. Oh, maybe top 7 of my life that I so enjoyed, that I so enjoyed it. And then, as they always say, all good things must come to an end, correct? So we were out all day, as I said, taking pictures, feeling the sense of connection and joy. Oh, let me say this. I did go to a cemetery that is over the top joyous and festejada, as they say in Spanish, festive to the utmost. We passed a cemetery and it was maybe 10:30 at night, maybe a little bit later. Anyway, it was late because we had been out late. You would have thought we were passing one of those old discotheques or a nightclub. It was that alive. It was that many people out, that many people, with the kids out, with celebrating at the cemetery is a little bit different from the US. Most of them have those tombs. People are there painting the tombs and cleaning the tombs and just showing their loved ones the utmost respect, And so now back to, as I said, all good things must come to an end. So that night, I was finally getting ready for bed and I still had the makeup on, which I was going to take off. And my husband says to me, he only calls me Bonnie when it's kind of like your mom calling you by your full name when you're in trouble. And he was like, Bonnie, are you going to take that makeup off? And I could see that he was kind of, positioning himself to be in bed with me with this full phase of makeup and trying to position himself so that he didn't wake up pink. And it's like, no, honey, no, no, no. I'm going to take it off. I'm just, I'm just really basking in the glow of all this, how wonderful I feel. It's like, okay. So I finally took it off. The next day, when I woke up, something inside of me had just really shifted for living, not just death, but for living. And I had to do my program the next day. And I thought, oh, I really want to wear my headdress because I'm still feeling the glow of Dia de los Muertos. And I thought, talk about being vulnerable. It's like, I'm going to wear my headdress. If anybody says anything, that's okay. I'm sure they'll be drawn in by the headdress. And I wore the headdress and just felt over the top wonderful. As I did the program, I did dedicate that day to Dia de los Muertos on my program. And so that day, I just made a vow that I would live my life from a place of joy. For me, I found that joy overrides any other fear, any other anxiety. There's that, what is it? Anger. Oh, yes, anger can move us out of fear. If you get angry enough, you're no longer afraid of anything. For me, it was joy that moved me forward. Joy that moved me forward and made me think and commit myself to remembering that every time I look at that picture. Now I have the headdress. It's on display in my living room. And I look at that and I am reminded of living in joy. And as I said, that Ernest Holmes saying, yes, that life is not to just be endured. It is to be lived in joy, in fullness without limits. I also have this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt that lives with me as I travel around the world. It's always on my fridge. And she says, the purpose of life is to live it, to taste it, experience it to the utmost, to reach out and eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experiences. And so I want to ask you tonight, what prevents you from reaching out for bigger experiences? What mask do you find yourself hiding behind? And it may not be a really knowing of saying hiding, but what's preventing you? And I got carried away and I thought I'd have some props, okay? So tell me if this one resonates with you. Shame. Does shame prevent you from stepping out and doing what you want to do? Is it shame? Or is it this one? Not enough. Not enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough knowledge to do that. I need to take another workshop, another class so that I will know enough and have enough. How many more jobs can I work to have enough money? Or what I feel is enough. This is my favorite. Who do you think you are? Just who do you think you are? This came up, I had the opportunity to write an article for Science of Mind this month in the March issue. It was like, who are you? You're not a writer. My gosh, you've never even taken a writing class. Who are you to write that? My podcast, it's like, who are you to have a podcast? Are you Oprah Winfrey? No, who are you? It's like, I am Bonnie Gonzalez, damn it, I am worthy. I am worthy. I have what it takes to do whatever it is that is in my heart to be done. And here's one that I'm sure most of you identify with. You can see that I have its fear. But fear shows up for me as, oh, I can't. I'm trying. But, when all else fails and I don't have another experience, but, fear. Are you living behind that mask of fear? So I ask you that. I ask you that question of what mask do you feel that draws you, that comes to you? And we are going to go to a breakout rooms that I want to have time for us to discuss. I'm going to put some questions in the chat box, which I think I just did. 2 questions. When and where do you shine? And what mask can you release? Name it and claim it. Sometimes we have to just name what it is so that we can have that awareness to move through it. And I say, I came up with that, when do you shine? Because this is talking about shining your light. But I remember it's a long story and I'm going to make it quick to the chase. My son-in-law and I were having a discussion. We were both, believe it or not, getting married on the same day, but that will come later. And I said to my daughter, I said, honey, this is your day. This is your special day, and I don't want to take anything away by getting married on the same day. And she says, oh, Mom, there's 280 couples getting married here today at the courthouse. How can you take away from my special day? So I turned to Leo and I said, Leo, this is your day to shine. I don't want to interfere with your day to shine. He says, Bonnie, I shine every day. Go ahead, let's get married. So I want you to go into breakout rooms and I put the questions there. The first one is when, where, and when do you shine? Let's start with the positive. You know, if I said make a list of 100 things of your that are things that you want to work on or deficits, you could come up with 101. If I said write 100 things that is wonderful about you and make you shine, it would be like, So let's start with that. So what makes you shine and when do you shine? The next question is, what mask can you release? Name it and claim it. So we'll go to breakout and we'll come back in 10 minutes and can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Okay, just a second here. I'm doing one more thing.
Okay, well, I didn't want to fill, I've already filled so much time with words.
Okay. Have fun, everybody.
Have fun discussing, shine on, shine on.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, I have
back.
Okay, take it away, Bonnie. You're muted.
Oh my gosh, I was speaking words of wisdom that you will never be able to hear again. I just gave the, nuclear codes away. But anyway, I hope everyone had a chance to talk about how they shine, first of all. And would anyone like to share how it is that you shine? As Marianne Williamson says, we're all meant to shine, correct? It's like for you to play small and not serve the world. I think everybody's.
I see Freya, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mostly have kept my mask on, because when I take my mask off and I let myself shine, it's like too much. it feels like I'm just bubbling too much and I'm getting a little too enthusiastic and just out of control and stuff. But I think that if I can allow myself, take an improv class or something, allow myself to practice that, it won't show up as so wild. It feels wild and out of control, but it still feels better because it feels like my heart is being able to open and shine from my heart.
Hmm. I just want to ask Freya, when you say it's too much for who?
It feels like I mean, I look at these Zoom faces and it feels like it's like, yeah, you're right. I mean, I judge what the way.
Well, you're good because I just see pictures of people that are frozen. I mean, it's just the pictures. Freya, and could I ask, was there a mass that you were willing to release?
Yes. One of the two opposites, feeling defective and also, there she goes, feeling defective and also like perfectionist.
Or perfectionist mass?
And yeah, both two sides, kind of expecting too much of myself and then judging myself as not adequate.
Mm.
Both of those.
I think that was was it not enough? I'm sorry. I'll hold up your, not enough, is that it?
That's right.
We'll drop that one away then.
Mhm.
Thank you, Freya. Are you complete? Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to share? I'm going to put it on gallery view, then I can see everybody. Oh,
Great. Go ahead.
Maureen? Yeah.
Yes. So what I would like to say is that my partner is Freya, and Freya shined really bright, and she was not too much.
Okay,
She shared, an insight, and it was the exact issue that I was dealing with. And so she provided me with wisdom through her vulnerability.
Oh.
And it was beautiful. So thank you, Freya.
And for you, Maureen, was there a place that you shine and a mask that you are ready to release?
Yeah. So and Freya helped me to see this. She was like, well, when you first started here at OCSL, started coming to OCSL, she says, I saw you as an usher.
Oh.
And you were shining, right? Because you're in public view. And then, I started to host. She didn't say host, but I started to host, and I got more, kind of exposed. And then she says, and then you were on the board and you got more exposed. And so that brought to the forefront that in the place where I shine is I like to be of service to as a leader.
Yeah.
I like to be of service as a leader. And so there you go. The mask that I would like to take off is the mask that doesn't believe I should be there. It's kind of like what you were saying, Bonnie, earlier. Who do you think you are?
Okay, well, I'll put it back up. She's releasing. Who do you think you are?
Yeah, it's got to have the shake too. Who do you think you are?
That's right. Yeah.
Extra shake it off. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All righty. Is there one last share? We could take one last share. Oh, Judith, how are you? Yes.
Hi. Well, I want to share, I'll share what both things, but I also want to share what my partner Deborah said about one of the things I said, which surprised me. So the first thing was about where do I shine? That was, when I work with audiences and when I teach and when I facilitate, I just come alive and I love doing it.
Yeah.
And I just love it. I just love it. I love working with an audience. And then where I can let a mask go, take a mask off, is that I always my entire life have received great feedback as being a really good writer. But I've been working as a technical writer most recently and not a creative writer. I haven't been doing any creative writing. And I also think that part of the reason for that is that my sister, who's 3.5 years older than me, has published a best-selling book, and it just keeps getting kudos and it keeps getting reprinted, and she gets talks and all kinds of things. It just keeps going and going. And I think I have a feeling that I can't measure up, that I won't be as good. And so I think that I can drop that whole comparison thing and just drop the thing of that I'm not a good enough writer. And Deborah said, well, thank you for doing that. I'm glad you did. And I said, well, I said I can drop that mask. And she said, no, you just dropped it. I said, oh, okay.
Well, I'm going to go one better. I'm going to hold up the card, not enough.
Uh-huh.
Not enough.
Yeah.
And then I will drop it and it's gone. So there you have a visual of it being dropped.
Yeah, of it being dropped. Yeah. Anyway, Deborah, thank you for that. That she was so matter of fact about it. You just dropped it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Are you complete, Judith?
I am complete.
Oh, I'm appreciating everyone. And I see you getting thumbs up there, Judith. I was going to say, I think we're going to bring it to a close now. I guess this is an hour program. And I just want to leave you with one reading. And this one, I don't know who wrote it, but we'll appreciate it. It says, in the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. And that includes wearing masks. So thank you all so very much. Thank you for embracing me and loving me tonight. I feel it, and I'm honored, and thank you. So it is.
Thank you, Bonnie. What a wonderful evening we have had together this evening. I invite you to stick around for a few announcements, and then I'll be asking Bonnie to pray us out at the end. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me get my announcements up here. So as we said earlier at the start of this service, this is Women's History Month that we are celebrating this month. And the next slide will tell us about next Sunday, March 19th. Our own Reverend Sunshine Michelle will be speaking on Boundaries Build Bridges. Meditation is at 10 a.m. and the service starts at 10:30 a.m. And then following that, on next Wednesday, our own practitioner, Judith Roberts, who's here with us this evening, will follow up from the Sunday talk, continuing the discussion on Boundaries Build Bridges. Meditation begins at 6:30 and the service starts at 7 p.m. on Zoom only. And coming up this not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, we will have our installation and celebration of our new senior minister, Reverend Sunshine Michelle. Again, that's March 25th, starting at 1 p.m. and pre-registration is necessary. There is a link to this registration on the events page, and the deadline for registration is no later than this coming Monday, March 20th. And then on April 1st, April Fool's Day, Emeritus Practitioner Richard Robinson's memorial will be taking place. Please mark this on your calendars. There'll be more information to follow. And as always, for information on all that's going on at your Oakland Center, visit our website, sign up for our weekly newsletter, the Thursday Village News, and remember that you can follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook for special updates and content that you'll only find by liking and subscribing to OCSL. Please like us and subscribe to OCSL today. And as you see on the screen here, this is our contact team. If you have any questions that you'd like answered, please reach out to one of these individuals and you can find their information on the website as well. So that is all of our announcements for this evening. And now we get to move into our giving time. And this is our time of allowing the law of circulation to work in, through, and as us. So we begin with our affirmation. Joyously I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. And so it is. And there are 5 ways that you can give. You can click on the donate button on our website. You can give by credit card, by mail, by Zelle, by text, or through the offering basket at any Sunday service. All right, so now is my time to say thank you to the team that has helped us put together this evening's event. We have a fabulous tech team: Peter Gum, Alice Herndon, Sabrina Bolas, Constance Chapman. And I also want to give a great thank you to Reverend Sunshine Michelle, who helps to pull all of this together for us beforehand. It takes a village to do what we do at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, and we are blessed with a full team. And last but not least, I want to thank our speaker this evening, Bonnie Gonzalez. She brought us some really good information about death, about wearing masks, and about dropping those masks, and love those props. So Bonnie, will you please pray us out for this evening? Take yourself off mute.
Unmute myself. I just prayed the best prayer ever. You missed it. Okay. So anyway, I just want to say thank you again. And I'm just overjoyed, just overjoyed. Thank you all for coming tonight to hear me talk about masks. All righty. So with that said, let's just, oh my goodness, let's take a breath of joy. Let's just breathe in joy. Let joy just fill our bodies, knowing that joy is here and it is available. And take as much as you need, take as much as you can handle. And know that there can never be, you can never be not enough. You're always enough and more than enough. And so with that, I am just in gratitude for our time together. I thank the divine Holy Spirit for just being in the mix here, to just stir things up and keep us talking and keep us feeling and keeping our hearts open, knowing that we have come here tonight. This is like, the Wednesday night sacred pit stop where we come to get the tires changed and have the oil checked, knowing that we have come here to be roadworthy for the rest of the week. And knowing that we have come and we have received and been infused with more light. Our light is even brighter now than when we showed up at 7. And knowing that you are taking that light out into the world. Just breathe in that light, know that you're that light, embody that light, and then radiate it back, beam it back into the world. The world is in need of what it is that we have. Knowing again that, yes, we are the ones that we have been waiting for, and we are here fully charged with our light shining bright, co-creating with the divine, a world that is working for everyone, free of mask, free of mask. And I am just overjoyed with knowing the truth of our time together. And I just might release my word into law. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.